Okay, so quick review of fractions. Again, this video isn't meant to teach you all the details about how to work with fractions, just hopefully to jog your memory on what we can do with fractions. We write a fraction as one number on top of another number, so 16 over 50, that's a fraction. We would call this fraction an unreduced fraction. It isn't simplified. And the reason why is because there is a number that can divide both into the top and into the bottom. So we can simplify this fraction. And the way we simplify fractions, the way I do it is I actually just think of what's the first number I know that can go into both 16 and 50. Since they're both even, I know 2 can fit into both of them. Now if I just divide by 2 and I don't think of any other numbers, I might not immediately get to the reduced fraction, but at least I don't have to sit there trying to think of numbers. And actually that's it. There's no number that can go into both 8 and 25. And the way you can be sure is you can play around. Like 8 divided by 2, that works. 25 divided by 2 comes out to a decimal. 8 divided by 4, well, so 4 fits into the number 8, but 4 does not fit into the number 25. Okay. So that's how we simplify fractions. Quick review of the operations we do with fractions. We can add fractions. We can subtract fractions. But the rule with adding and subtracting fractions is that you have to have common denominators. They need to both be talking about the same they both have to have the same denominator, the same bottom of the fractions, okay? So with both of these problems, I can't do anything yet. What I have to do is I have to rewrite the fraction. I got to kind of unsimplify it, even though I have to change the fractions so that the denominators are the same. So one thing we can do is we can keep the fraction the same by multiplying the top and the bottom by the same number. And I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this 2/3 by 5. Because I know a trick. If I multiply by the opposite denominator, I'm going to get the same fraction. Okay, and I'm going to get fractions with common denominators. So if you're looking for common denominators, you can always multiply by the other fraction's denominator. So like this fraction 4/5, I'm trying to get it in common with this 2/3. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this fraction by the bottom of the first fraction, by this 3 over here. Okay, so 4 times 3 makes 12, 5 times 3 makes 15. There we go. Now that they're in common, now I can do some adding. And you just add the numerator. Okay, 10 plus 12 makes 22. And that's it. This can't be simplified anymore. Same thing down bottom. You would actually, here, let me change it, because that's just basically the same problem if I do it like that. Let's change this to be 2 over 7. I can't subtract these because they don't have common denominators. So let's get the common denominators by multiplying by the opposite fraction, the other fraction's denominator. So it's going to give me 10 over 35 for that first fraction. And then I'm trying to get common denominators, so let's multiply this one by 7 and this by 7, the opposite fraction's denominator. Gives me 28 over 35. Okay, so now if you subtract these two, this is where you could pull out a calculator if you're not sure. It's not going to be 18. It's going to be negative 18, right? 10 minus 28, well, you can't see. That makes negative 18. That's our answer. Can't simplify. You'd want to try to simplify like we did in the first step. Okay, so that's adding and subtracting fractions. That's harder than the next step. Okay, multiplying and dividing fractions is actually more straightforward. If you need to multiply two fractions, all you do is multiply the numbers straight across the top. So 2 times 5 makes 10, and straight across the bottom. 3 times 4 makes 12. And then simplify. That's it. If you simplify this fraction, they both can be divided by 2, so you get 5 over 6. Okay, and with dividing fractions, it's almost just as easy. But before you try to jump to getting an answer here, when you try to divide fractions, you have to flip the second fraction and then multiply. So I flip the second fraction, always the second fraction, then multiply. So now if I do my multiplication now, 5 times 7 makes 35, and 3 times 4 makes 12. That's as far as I can go. Can't reduce that one. Let's see what else we might see. Mixed numbers. Mixed numbers, like where you write a whole and a fraction next to each other, okay? This is 4 1/3. Like if I ate 4 1/3 slices of pizza, right? That means I ate 4 whole pieces, and then I ate 1 out of, 1/3 of the extra slice. I didn't quite get a whole amount there. So we can convert mixed numbers to regular fractions. You just need to multiply these two numbers, the denominator and the whole part. 4 times 3 makes 12, and then add that result to the numerator. Okay, so that would make 13 over 3. So let me repeat that real quick. 3 times 4 makes 12. 12 plus 1 makes 13. Let's see. And so when you've got it as an improper fraction, then you can just start doing all the regular fraction stuff that we just saw. So let's say, I'm just looking at my list of stuff we should cover. Oh yeah, here, one other one. Let's say you've got this fraction and you want to convert it to a mixed number. Well, you can pull out your calculator, okay, and find out, take the top number, divide by the bottom number. That'll convert it to like a decimal form. Okay, it gives me 3.75. So 4 fits into 15 3 whole times. So put a 4 as your denominator over here for the fraction that's left over. So what you do, oops, I shouldn't delete that. So that was our decimal number. What you can do to quickly get the top part of that fraction that's missing in the mixed number, take out the whole part. So I'm going to subtract out that 3. And then multiply that decimal to the 4 in the denominator. So it gives me the number 3 up top here. Okay. So another quick example here, 17 over 3. If I want to convert that to a mixed number, 17 divided by 3 gives me 5.66. So I'm going to say 5. Here's 3 in the bottom of the fraction. To find out what is left over on the top of that fraction, take out the decimal part. Whatever's left over, multiply that to the denominator. Multiply that to the number that's in the bottom. So 17 over 3 is 5 2/3. So if you have a question on whatever assignment you're working on, where it says 4 1/3 plus 3 1/2, what you can do is convert them to improper fractions like we just did a second ago. Okay, so 4 1/3, we said that's 13 over 3. 3 1/2, 2 times 3 makes 6. 6 plus 1 makes 7 over 2. And now you can do your normal business about getting common denominators. Okay, I think that's the basics of fractions. That's definitely a quick overview. There's lots of resources out there online for the particular details, so you just need to YouTube search dividing fractions or YouTube search adding mixed numbers to get some longer videos that hammer down some of those details. This video is just meant to try to jog your memory, but obviously that's not going to be a one-size-fits-all video for everybody. So don't be afraid to keep looking if you're still having trouble.